All right, welcome. This is my blog, as it were. No one pays me to think. Whatever it is called, I don't know. Um, but go ahead.
Oh, I was like, you don't pay me to think about anything because I don't have a brain or something like that, right?
No, just no one pays me to think because no one cares what I think. Something like that. That was our intro.
Yeah.
You can see we're such great commentators. They gave us our own show. This is America, damn it.
That will never happen again.
Never. Anyway, with me today, introduce yourself for our audience of 17.
17. I could get my mom to watch it. It'd be 18.
Okay, excellent.
I am Monty, I guess.
Monty, Josh, Echo.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to go with.
That fat guy in the Batman shirt.
Yeah, sure, that works too. Next to the chunky guy in the King Crimson shirt. So
yeah.
The ginger brigade, as we were.
Wonder if Twin Powers Unite.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I brought Monty in. I call him Monty, so we'll go with Monty. I brought him into. We're going to talk about Batman for a little while, as you can see right there. We are going to discuss Batman, just more so the Grant Morrison take on Batman that he's been doing since Batman and Son, that I've mentioned more than a few times in some of my talks that I've done. But Monty's going to go ahead and lead us off. So go to town, my man.
I'd actually like to say that I was the first person in the world to say Grant Morrison was a just huge asshole for taking Bruce Wayne and killing him. And of course, I didn't read. I had stopped reading comics for a long time, And I decided, Grant Morrison, you're a huge fucking jerk. I can't believe you did this. Oh my God, you've ruined my childhood. I want to piss on your mother's grave, And then this man here actually convinced me to read and use my education of such a prominent high school. And I realized I was the asshole.
You've been able to read since you were 16.
Yes. Still don't know that last letter, though.
Yeah.
But I realized I was the asshole whose mother's grave should be pissed on.
No, let's not go that. I mean,
I'm just
saying, your mother deserves some respect.
So, I realized...
Or not. My mistake.
So I decided, I messed up. I judged without reading, and the whole judge's book by its cover kind of thing. And when I actually started reading, I picked up with Batman's Son to kind of get a handle on everything, where we started, which led me into Black Glove, R.I.P., Final Crisis, and everything where we're at now, And I mean, I've been blown away. It's the greatest thing I've single-handedly read in comic books ever.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start with Batman and Son.
Batman and Son.
The logistics of Batman and Son, real quick, is Batman and Son, following 1 year later after Infinite Crisis, Grant Morrison came onto Batman, the self-titled Batman, for at the time, it was a little controversial. It didn't necessarily get a lot of recognition at the time, but it was an arc on Batman that brought the, at the time, newly incoming Andy Kubert onto art with him. Andy Kubert had been yes, definitely. I love Andy Kubert. He had been, up until then, a Marvel artist almost exclusively, having done very little DC work, only a few kind of crossover things. But became big at Marvel after doing X-Men, Ultimate X-Men, Origins, 1602 with Neil Gaiman, Breathe, and amassed quite a resume over at Marvel. And then him and his brother Adam at the time decided to jump over to DC. And Adam went with Superman with Jeff Johns and Richard Donner, and Andy Kubert went with Batman, arguably to some. You concluded the better decision.
Amen.
And jumped on with Batman and Son with Grant Morrison. So, start us off with Batman and Son, sir.
Okay, the big thing from here, I mean, if you want the plot, I mean, go read the fucking book.
Yeah. I mean, Batman and Son, in short, is what it brought to the DC universe.
Batman and Son.
Batman and Son, the introduction of
Damian.
Yeah.
It took a very, very, very little known until Batman and Son plotline from the 80s where Batman, Talia, did the nasty and
had relations, as it were.
All because of Roz and whatever.
Well, even then, Grant Morrison admitted that he got some of the details wrong, so it kind of became its own thing. Because he implied in Batman and Son, I believe, that... Make sure you stay in the camera.
Oh, God.
No, just kidding. But he implied that he got some of the details wrong, because I believe in Batman and Son, he implies that he was drugged when it happened.
Right, yeah.
And in the initial story, he was not. So It kind of became its own thing. Yeah, something. Yeah, whatever. Batman and
love is the drug. Brian Ferry.
And we've brought Brian Ferry into the conversation now. See that happen on fucking Comic Book Resources, bastards.
Take that, G4.
Take that, Newsarama. We're coming for you. But the biggest thing, I guess, to take out of Batman and Son, like you said, is the introduction of Damian Wayne.
Which was the most hated thing
in
the world.
People still hate Damian. And I mean, I've honestly grown to like the character.
As have I. I mean, I hate him. He was snooty. He was arrogant. He was everything the Dick was.
I can't necessarily say that wasn't the point, though.
I think it very much was. I think it was a brilliant move by Morrison to say, I want you to hate this character so you can love him. And especially in an age... And especially in an age when there is so much pressure put on comic creators to introduce new ideas. And and
again, you can argue that it's not necessarily a new idea because it takes an old plot point, but people are given a lot of crap for creators in general. They'll write great Superman stories, they'll write great Batman stories, great Avengers stories, but are they truly adding to the mythology?
Right.
Are they truly adding something to the character that's going to be remembered after they're gone?
And here we obviously have a yes.
And here we obviously have something. And the first of many in Grant Morrison's case, arguably. And he brings in Damian Wayne. Like I said, the assumed. Have we ever gotten the official confirmation?
We've got it. We don't have it, though.
Like, it's implied that Bruce knows, but we, the readers, don't.
It was in... I forget which book, and that shows you what a great nerd I am. I have a girlfriend, so I don't do things like that, like memorize.
He actually scores at night.
What? No.
He knows what a girl looks like naked. In real life, not on the computer.
Well, Second Life is a real life.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, back.
So I forget which it was, but it was implied that Bruce got the DNA test.
Yeah.
And that pissed off Tim because he wouldn't tell Tim. And Tim.
Well, because Tim is Bruce's adopted son.
Which Robin wasn't.
Dick, I don't think ever was. He was his ward, but I don't think he was officially adopted. Tim was officially adopted.
True.
After his dad died in Identity Crisis.
Yes.
If you want to read a weird story about rape and superheroes, you can read Identity Crisis. Not endorsed by us.
Not thumbs up for rape, thumbs up for weird.
I would certainly hope so.
The only comic book show that's pro-rape.
Oh, God, we're getting...
And we lost all 17 viewers.
And we're down to no views. But as a Batman and Son, I mean... And some of the plot threads came out of Batman and Son that continued on. I mean, like I said, the stuff with Talia worked and continued on.
Still, even now.
Even now, again, even just in Batman and Robin now. So... And again, we had great artwork by Andy Kubert. Andy Kubert did all the designs for Damian. And, I mean, got to draw some Ninja Man-Bats.
Right.
I mean, where else are you going to see Ninja Man-Bats? Grant Morrison, also, props for that alone.
One of the things I actually really loved about this book, maybe a subtle detail that, like, me and one other person in his Batman underoos on his couch watching this cares about. But when they go to Jezebel Jet's little art convention.
Right.
And the art convention was done in that 80s style of comic book art with the little dots.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I thought that was a great little throwback saying hey to
And Jezebel Jet. Almost forgot about her.
Jezebel Jet.
She ended up playing a major part that we'll get to in another installment because these are only 10 minutes long. And which means we'll be wrapping this one up soon. But
wow. That went by fast.
It does. We bullshit a lot.
Just like me last night.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
And we've dropped the room down and lost even. We've somehow lost. We've gone down from 0 views.
We are no longer watching this.
But with Batman and Son, again, at the time, it was kind of ironic because people didn't really flock to it.
Correct.
And I think that in hindsight now, it's easier to look at this as just part one. And Grant Morrison, unless Grant Morrison is Batman, which may be the case.
I think he is.
He might be. Grant Morrison even said that. He said that Batman and Son was part one.
Well, also at the end of... no, it wasn't Batman. So it was all right. I forget which book. I'm running on very little sleep. But when Damian takes over the first time for the future Batman,
right,
we see him bald, talking to Alfred the Cat, and I mean it's obviously Grant Morrison.
Obviously an homage to that. But so Batman and Son. Anyway, we got to wrap part one. We'll be back real quick for part two.